Hi, so in this video we're going to be talking a little bit about eBay's zero seller fees and why this isn't a thing with Amazon. Could it ever be done? So first off, let me just start by saying that eBay and Amazon are often talked about like they are in the same box, but actually they aren't. Okay, there are two different business models going on here, and yes, they are both online marketplaces, but the main thing that they are about is different, and how they run, how they work, that's also different as well. Once you start to peel back the layers, you'll see that there's more differences than similarities between Amazon and eBay. So just to give you a few examples, Amazon has the FBA service, eBay doesn't. Amazon obviously has the Prime and the Prime delivery and so forth. eBay doesn't. eBay has the auctioning system. Amazon doesn't. They have a buy box. eBay doesn't. I can just keep going on. So what they're about and how their operations are run is very different. Okay. Now, Amazon and eBay, the main category of product that they sell is new for Amazon and secondhand used for eBay. Like if I said, oh, where can you buy secondhand stuff online? Your answer to me would be eBay. Now, whilst new stuff is sold on eBay and whilst used things are sold on Amazon, and these are both great routes for both Amazon and eBay. Like I know plenty of sellers that are happy selling used goods on Amazon, and obviously there's lots of people and companies that are happy selling new things on eBay, but they are best known for different things. If I said, where can you get new stuff from online? Like you're more likely to say Amazon than eBay, just because that's what they're known for. And you can really see in recent years, the companies have decided to really hone in on what makes them special and what they're known for. And where you can see this best is in their TV adverts. So, for example, eBay, you look at a number of their adverts, it's all about the everyday person finding things around the home, selling them for some money. On Amazon, it's usually the case of someone looking at someone else and thinking, oh, they need this, and it comes all new in the Amazon Prime box with the smiley face. Comes delivered via the Amazon Prime van. So they really set the image there as to what they're all about. So they are very, very different, even though they often are talked about like they are in the same box. They're not really. So eBay several months ago introduced zero seller fees. Now, why did they do this? So eBay isn't really in competition with Amazon. Okay, Amazon's always been the number one online marketplace. eBay's always followed as runner-up. So because it's been that way for so many years, and eBay is best known for secondhand, Amazon's best known for new, things aren't really going to change there. Amazon will typically always be number one because they have been for a long time now. They've never been beat by anyone at this point. So I think they've really just settled into their positions, and eBay and Amazon aren't really looking to clash and compete with each other. Where eBay's looking is more at companies like Depop and Vinted. Okay, so it's these companies that introduced the whole zero fee thing, and they'd been running it for quite a while, and obviously anyone looking to get started with reselling online from a second-hand point of view, they were flocking more towards Depop and Vinted as opposed to eBay. And so eBay's response to this was to also introduce a zero seller fee policy. However, just so that way we're not looking at it through rose-tinted glasses, there are limitations to this. So with eBay, the zero seller fees applies to you. And this is talking from a UK perspective. By the way, the rules are different over in the US. You need to be a private seller, so you couldn't be a commercial business seller and have this thing kick in the exact same way. So as a private seller, which to be fair, anyone that's starting with reselling, that's most likely what they will be, you only get a limited amount of free listings per month. Before then, some fees will start to kick in. It applies to basically every single category, the zero fee policy, except from vehicles, and obviously to me that just makes sense. So everything apart from vehicles, zero fees. However, you are still paying for postage if you choose to pay for postage, which, by the way, is a bit of a sleight of hand. So when you look on eBay and you see something that has free delivery, you'll often find that actually the price doesn't differ drastically a lot of the time from those that have got the shipping and the price of the product separate. Because in order to make you think that you're getting a better deal, what they'll actually do is, yes, they'll pay for the postage, but they raise their pricing in order to cover for that. So there isn't ever really that much of a difference between the two if you're looking at two of the same item and it's very similar pricing. One of them's got the shipping attached, one of them says it's free delivery. They'll actually just factor that in. So if you're choosing to do that, then obviously you are paying for the postage label, or if you've got some other courier system, postage system in place, then obviously that's what you'll be using. And if you are, of course, charging for your shipping cost as a result of that and trying to make it feasible for people, your price of the product will typically be lower than someone who's offering the free delivery. And I'm talking about this in a sense where it doesn't apply to everything, but for a lot of things. So you just have a look on eBay now and you'll see that this is the case with quite a few things. So that's the reason why eBay introduced the zero seller fees. Now, why doesn't Amazon do this? As I say, Amazon and eBay are not in competition with one another. So Amazon doesn't have any reason to take away their selling fees. And the selling fees actually contribute towards several aspects of Amazon. So if we take away fees, then we will likely see Amazon Prime disappear, and with that we'll also see the FBA service disappear. I mean, Amazon aren't just going to do half the work for you off their own backs and there's nothing to fund it. They won't be able to get things to people next day continuously and keep running that model if there's nothing going towards it. So if they took all that stuff away, then lots of stuff will go with those fees, and the Amazon platform would essentially become like lots of other ones. So a lot of the sellers that we have on Amazon right now are serious sellers, because obviously you pay your subscription fee and of course you've got Amazon fees on items, so you're aware of that. But the reason why you choose Amazon is because it is so well known. It's the number one online marketplace in the world. So you are only there is of course a lot of sellers on there, but the seller base there is a lot more serious, and it means that anyone that's just looking to hop on the platform and just sell a few bits, they're not going to be as interested because of course of the charges there. So it's like you've got a filter with Amazon of the type and caliber of seller that you have on that platform. And as a result of the way that Amazon is run, it means that issues presented by sellers, that is a lot smaller than the percentage of issues presented by sellers on these other platforms. Because yes, whilst they have rules, the rules aren't as enforced and they are not as strict as Amazon's. And obviously Amazon is number one for a reason. They enforce these things, they keep the platform, they keep the reputation as clean as can be. And that's not to say that Amazon are absolutely perfect, because I know that people have their troubles with them. I know that there's hiccups. I know that sometimes there's a bit of a shoot first, ask questions later thing in some rare cases. But overall, it contributes towards what is actually a good platform. Okay, for all of the reasons that I've talked about: buy box, FBA service, Prime. The fact that Amazon are so built up that you can resell, make money, and not really spend very much at all on advertising. It's not like you're building your own brand, your own business from the ground up. Amazon's already done that, so you just sell on their platform. Just join listings. So Amazon can't introduce a zero seller fee. They don't have any reason to. Could it happen in the future? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. Could they lower their fees? Possibly. I mean, there's a chance for anything and everything to happen, but right now there's not going to be anything that happens in the foreseeable future. This will likely be something that happens a long way down the line if, say, things really boom with these platforms that are offering zero seller fees and things like that, and people are flocking towards them. And at the end of the day, Amazon needs sellers for so many reasons. If Amazon got rid of all of their sellers, the amount of inventory that they have would significantly decline. When it comes to quantities of products, when Amazon run out, they then rely on the seller. If they got rid of all of those sellers, then Amazon would be a very, very, very different place. So they are not at all in the same box. Yes, they're online marketplaces, but that's pretty much all they have in common. Everything else is completely different, and that's why Amazon can't have zero seller fees. And besides, if Amazon becomes that very same way, you'll have everyone flocking into Amazon. In fact, they might as well just give up ungating at the same time. And it means that there will be a lot more issues. It really will be a saturated marketplace. And your competition will significantly rise. So I know that we all go, about the fees, but they are necessary for a number of reasons. So hopefully that's helped you understand a little bit more about eBay's zero seller fees and why this won't be the case with Amazon. Thank you for watching.